Hello everyone, I'm Miss Dina, and welcome to our mathematics lesson on fractions. A fraction represents a part of a whole. When something is divided into equal parts, each part can be written as a fraction. Fractions help us describe quantities that are not whole numbers. In this lesson, we will learn how fractions are formed and what they represent. Understanding fractions is an important step in learning a more advanced mathematics.
A fraction is created when a whole object is divided into equal parts. The more parts the whole is divided into, the smaller each part becomes. For example, if a shape is divided into two equal parts, each part is larger than when it is divided into four equal parts. This shows that fractions depend on how many parts the whole is divided into. Understanding equal parts is important when learning fractions.
A fraction has two important parts called the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is the top number, and it shows how many parts we have. The denominator is the bottom number, and it shows how many equal parts the whole is divided into. For example, in the fraction 3 over 4, the number 3 is the numerator and 4 is the denominator. Understanding these parts helps us read fractions correctly.
A fraction can also be understood as a form of division. The numerator is divided by the denominator. For example, the fraction 1 over 2 means 1 divided by 2. This shows how a whole is split into equal parts. Understanding fractions as division helps students connect fractions with other mathematical operations. This idea strengthens number understanding.
Fractions can be compared by looking at the number of equal parts. When the denominator is larger, the parts are smaller. For example, 1 over 8 is smaller than 1 over 4, because the whole is divided into more parts. This shows that the size of a fraction depends on how many pieces the whole is split into. Understanding this helps students compare fractions accurately.
Fractions can be shown using visual models such as shapes and diagrams. A circle or rectangle can be divided into equal parts to represent fractions. For example, half of a circle represents 1 over 2, and 1 out of 4 equal parts represents 1 over 4. Visual models help students see how fractions work clearly. This makes learning fractions easier to understand.
Fractions are used in many real-life situations. For example, when sharing food, each person may receive a fraction of the whole. Time can also be described using fractions, such as half an hour. These examples show how fractions are part of everyday activities. Understanding fractions helps students apply mathematics in real life.
In this lesson, we learned that fractions represent equal parts of a whole. We explored the meaning of the numerator and denominator. We also learned that fractions can represent division. Understanding how fractions work helps us compare and use them correctly. These skills are important for future mathematical learning. With practice, students can confidently work with fractions.